Recovering from the narcissist discard is probably one of the most difficult things you'll ever experience because before you experience the discard, it's almost like they would have picked your personality and identity apart, thrown you in this confused, foggy place where you don't have any sense of grounding. And then it's when you're lost, you don't know yourself, you don't have any clarity, that the discard comes. And it's even more difficult to ever recover from such an experience if you don't understand the process of what actually happened to you and who you were dealing with. And that's probably one of the most helpful starting points so you can actually feel okay with what happened and actually recover and start to pursue your own healing journey. So, narcissists, they don't discard people. They don't generally discard people if that person is still providing them something of high value. And a lot of times, narcissists, they look at you and they see value in you, and they don't quite feel like they can let you go yet. As long as you are feeling good about yourself, as long as you have something good going in your life, as long as there's something that they haven't quite managed to sabotage yet, or maybe there's some very good relationships you have with people that keep you happy, and they haven't quite managed to rupture that yet. Or maybe, you have a really successful career and that takes up a lot of your time and energy, but in a good way. And maybe you make money and, all these good things towards your independence. If you have those good things going on for you in a way that you're fully proud of and you're actually making things happen, narcissists typically would not discard you yet. Provided you're giving them basics, provided you're supplying their basic needs, that is. If you are in a relationship with them, you are doing them favors, you are satisfying them sexually, you are basically doing what they ask. And if they still see you being somebody of value, they won't discard you yet. Narcissists, what they do is because their natural pull towards you, their natural kind of interest in you at the beginning, that tends to fade, and it tends to fade quite quickly because narcissists, they get bored very quickly with people. And it's almost like they have to have an excuse to keep you around. And as long as in any way you're doing better than them, maybe your career is more successful than theirs, maybe you're in this, you're a very intelligent person, more intelligent than they are, and you're in this clear-minded space where you still acknowledge that. Maybe you have hobbies, interests, things that are going for you in a positive way. As long as the narcissist hasn't managed to quite throw confusion on those things yet, kind of push you away from those things yet, they haven't made you feel shameful of your hobbies and interests yet, then it's almost like they can't push you away yet, because if they were to push you away in that state, it's almost like they're pushing you away, but they're pushing somebody away who's better than they are. Because when you have good things going on for yourself in your life, they feel like you are better than them. But narcissists, they're very competitive, and the way they see their own value is how they compare to other people. And they must always be better than other people. And that's why they have this need to put you down and to make you stay down. And that's why they work so hard in breaking your identity apart and breaking you apart. Because it's like a combination of things where, they don't quite find you as interesting as they used to, so they're starting to devalue you a little bit because, the good supply from the interest, the novelty wears down, so they need to get the negative supply from the devaluation to kind of keep them going with you, fine. But the more they devalue you, the less you can supply them in the most basic ways. Maybe you had a sense of humor, maybe you would be like an understanding person when they needed like a sounding board with problems. But as they devalue you and as you kind of fall deeper into this black hole, you don't really even have the ability to do those things in the same way that you once did. So it's almost like everything about your supply, everything that you have to offer them, gets a bit more stale in their eyes, gets a bit more broken, gets a bit more impotent. But as long as they're still getting enough from you, and as long as they still see that you are somebody of sufficient value, they can't quite discard you or push you away for good or just disappear for good, because then they'll instantly regret it because they're pushing somebody away who's actually better than they are. And that's why the discard will hardly ever come if you're still someone of high value. You're still somebody who's go-getting. You're still somebody who's clear-minded. You're making things happen. You know, you're doing good in your career. You're doing good on other fronts of your life. You know, you're focused. You kind of maybe have this long-term plan and you're kind of down the path. You know, other people see you as a valuable asset. You're contributing to other things and you're getting your own kind of reward from that. As long as you still have a fair amount of that going on, narcissists, they've hardly ever push you away because, like I said, they feel like they're losing something. Like they're losing you and you could be more valuable than them, and they can't really have that because then they feel like, you know, the record isn't straight. You know, they got to level the playing field to put you back down. So if you were discarded, then maybe you would have realized that the narcissist, they would have done a lot of work to have broken you down on all fronts. And effectively, your morale would have been on this kind of constant low. And it's when your morale is at that constant low and the other areas of your life are not doing so well anymore. And you're no longer supplying the narcissist quite as well anymore because you just don't have it in you. That enthusiasm, that go-gettingness, that eagerness, that zest, that gumption. It's like that channeling of this kind of positive energy that kind of manifests through your own actions. Kind of dies away a bit. It's at that point where they find you easily discardable because even a lukewarm, half-ass kind of replacement would be better than you once you're in that place. Because you're just consistently underachieving in their eyes in terms of your supply potential, your value potential. And then, of course, that's where they can easily just let you go. The worst thing in the narcissist's mind, of course, is when they push you away and they discard you, right? But then you quickly bounce out of it and you're in a good place. And that turns their world upside down because that's not how they expected things to pan out. That wasn't part of the program. You're not really playing by their rules anymore, by their script. But I talk a lot about that in lots of other videos, and I will continue to talk about that in other videos, so I won't delve into that here. Thanks for watching.